do famous logos like the rose worn on the England Rugby Union shirt have an interesting story to tell? Hello, I'm Dominic Walker. Welcome to JMW's Inside Man YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and keep the conversation going in the comments section as well. Now, Lucy Marlow is a senior associate solicitor within JMW's intellectual property department, and Lucy's got an interest in sport as well. So, Lucy, we're talking about that famous rose on the England Rugby Union shirts. Tell me a little bit about the story, the background of the logo.
Well, the history behind the rose logo is really interesting as it's evolved over time. Just as an interesting point, the rose itself has quite a few really interesting distinctive marks. So I've never noticed before that there's actually an E in the middle of the rose, which obviously stands for England. But for many years, so from 1870 to 1920, lots of different variations of the rose design was applied to the rugby kits. And it wasn't until 1920 that a more standardized approach started to be followed. So all England rugby players would be wearing kit with the same logo. And actually the logo was recently modernized by Nike, 1997, when Nike took over from cotton traders. And now Nike are the official suppliers and the exclusive licensee to the rose logo. Actually, the RFU don't just hold the rose logo, it holds a whole portfolio of trademarks that amounts to 401 trademarks. So quite interesting.
And it sounds fascinating how things have evolved over such a long period of time in terms of the branding. I mean, is that something that you see with your clients as well?
Yeah, so the whole story of inconsistent brand use is something that we regularly advise our clients to try and avoid. It's important that you don't use variations of a particular branding and you stick to the branding that you've chosen. And why? Well, there are three main reasons for this. Firstly, it's important to increase your brand recognition by consistent brand use. Also, it avoids diluting any goodwill in your particular branding. And if you do have a trademark and that trademark is more than 5 years old, you are at risk of a revocation action by using different variations, because another party could argue that your brand hasn't been used. So that's really important. And also just the story here of a collaboration. So once you've got in place intellectual property rights, such as a trademark, you can then exploit the value of that particular right through entering into collaborations. So for example, the RFU licensed the right to use the rose logo to Nike, and in return, Nike have applied that logo to its kit.
So, Lucy, how can you and the intellectual property team here at JMW Solicitors help businesses?
So we regularly advise our clients on firstly putting in place various intellectual property rights, such as trademarks. And then once you've got those rights in place, how to best protect and enforce those rights. And often it also comes down to practical points, like what I just mentioned about consistent use of a brand, and also looking for opportunities to perhaps enter into collaborations where you can exploit the value of that IP.
Thank you for your insight, Lucy. And if you'd like to speak to Lucy and the intellectual property team here at JMW Solicitors, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999. Please also subscribe to the JMW Inside Man YouTube channel. I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.